Oh, okay, guys, what's going on? Don't ignore that M18. Ignore that M1A2 Abrams. That's not mine. When the game fully loads in the game, you'll see it disappear and turn into an M3 Lee or whatever it'll be. The M10 GMC, I guess. There we go. But guys, today I'm gonna rant for a bit. So today I went in to go take my driving test. Oh, okay. And so, yeah, they paired me with like the meanest instructor they possibly could. Now, I don't think she was mean on purpose. I just think she was having a bad day. But she had this really mean attitude. And I'm not the best when I'm taking tests. I'll just go ahead and be the first to admit it. I suck ass at taking tests. I get overstressed out really quickly. Everybody knows what happened to me on the ASVAB. I got very stressed out, but I focused on my PICAT, and I got a big, I got a big passing score on the PICAT. So, I was actually happy. But today, when I had went in to go take my my driving test, right? So I guess it all comes down to definition, right? Because hold on just a second. Sorry about that. It's really cold where I'm at right now. It's snowing and yeah. It's out there in a t-shirt, so I got a little bit of a cold. Oh, and I did something very dumb today as well. We'll get into that. I left my keys in my car, but we'll get into it. So anyway, so yeah, I'm taking my test, and I passed the maneuverability, no problem. My driving portion, I failed. Now, when you come to a situation where you can turn right on a red light, okay? You have to take your vehicle to a, quote, complete stop. To me, a complete stop is when the vehicle stops moving. When you put on the brakes and the vehicle stops moving. To me, I don't care about how long it takes. Like, okay, the vehicle could be stopped for 3 seconds is all it takes for me to look both ways. So I looked both ways. The people in front of me already went. And so I looked, there was no passing by traffic. I looked to the left, no passing traffic. Looked to the right, no passing traffic. And so my turn signal was already on, so I already take my move. I already moved. I turned my right on to the red light, and then she started jotting down on her notepad. What I didn't realize was, well, because I had only stopped for about, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 seconds, they considered it yielding. She thought my vehicle was not at a complete stop. The vehicle was not still in battery. It was completely done moving. So I guess it's timing, I guess she wants you to wait there 30 seconds or some shit like that. So the smart thing to do in the situation on my end was to not even go. Just wait for the light to turn green when there's an instructor, because she called it running a red light when in fact I had already stopped and looked both ways. I didn't look both ways twice, which is what they recommend. And if you're gonna do that, do that. But next time I do that, I'm gonna just wait for the light to turn green. So I failed. Now, because I'm not a teen, because I'm in my 20s, I'm considered legally an adult. So, okay, here's something that pisses me off. They did not tell my mother. They did not tell me that if I failed, I would have to take a 4-hour or an 8-hour class. It's 4 hours online course and 4 hours with a driver instructor. One-time course for $59. $59.54 or whatever. So I'm like, great, fuck this shit. Because it's like, okay, yeah, I failed. She told me I failed. She handed me a paper of what I can do, and she was sort of talking about the potential options and the cost and like what it is that's going to happen. So I just grabbed my ID, grabbed that paper, and I stormed off. She was still trying to talk, and then so, you know, my mom, you know, she cocked an attitude because it's like, you know, I'm out of here. I don't need to hear your explanation. I know what I have to do. I don't care. Like, I came here to win. I failed. I'm not going to just, you know, I'm not going to stay there. I decided to leave, and they did not like my attitude at all. They said I had a bad attitude. Because I didn't want to hear their little, you could do this or you could do that. Like, dude, I ain't got time. I ain't got time for all that. So, yeah, now I'm trying to find a course. I have to take it. I have to do it. To some, you know, not to some degree, but I have to actually, you know, do these kinds of things. I have to be able to drive. At the end of the day, I have to be able to drive. And so, if you are 20 getting your driver's license, I hate to tell you this, but you know, everyone else is already telling, why didn't you get it when you were younger or whatever? I hate that shit. It's like, I don't know, why don't you mind your own business? Like, at that period of time when I was 16 years old, my dad attempted to commit suicide. I got kicked out of school. I had way too much stuff going on in my life than to worry about driving. Let alone to worry about driving. Because at that period in time, we had no money at all to even afford a car. So I'd be able to drive without a car. So I was completely unmotivated. I was completely distracted. I had 1,000 things going on at once. We had a lot of family drama going on also, and a whole bunch of other shit. So yeah, no, there was just no way I was going to get my temps. I wouldn't even be able to take my... And besides that, in order to get the license, I would have to do this course or whatever, and it's expensive, and it's very long, it's crazy or whatever, and just, yeah, no. But I was 19 years old. I took my tests. It was in late July. I passed. So I studied very hard for it. And then I got my driver's license, right? You're like, oh, that's so great. You know, then you can test drive and you can learn the road and do things. No, the fuck we didn't. My mom barely took me on the road. I may have gotten a total of maybe 57 hours worth of road time throughout a, like, between a 3-month period. That's not a lot of road time. Some people wait to take their test until they've had like a year's worth of experience. And since I don't have that much time on the road, and you know, so on and so forth, like, I really didn't get the experience that I needed. Let alone also, I'm not gonna lie, my mom's kind of crazy when she drives. She drives fast. She don't fuck around with it. So, you know, so give it the gas. You know, don't be a dumbass. Don't be slow either. So, you know, I don't want to be slow. That's my big thing. There's one thing I hate. It's someone that goes like 4 or 5 below the speed limit. They're brake checking you. They're just like carrying up the ass on the road. But at the same time, you know, I drive a lower sitting car. My car sits really low. So whenever there's like an SUV and there's no one in front of them, like it's just them, or the person in front of them is like 7 car lengths ahead of them, and then, you know, I'm starting to either, you know, pick up speed, and they're still going below the speed limit, and now they're trying to brake check me, and it's like, okay, dude, please just go. Like, and then on the highway, I've noticed there's a lot of left lane hogs where I live. People just like that left lane for whatever reason, and then they drive below the speed limit in the left lane, and that really pissed me off because I got stuck between a fuck-ass truck without a bed, without a tail hitch, and it just was open bed with shit that was unstrapped down. I don't want to drive behind that thing. I don't want shit flinging at my nice BMW, so I try to pass, but I can't pass because there's 3 people, 3 left lane hogs, another fuck-ass truck, and a minivan, and a Honda CR-V that just loves going like super fucking slow. And so I'm just like, oh my god, I'm gonna explode. I have road rage. And so, you know, driving, you realize how many idiots that there really are in this world. I'm just gonna say this right now. Yeah, you'll realize how many idiots just exist. Now, because it's like late November, I am fucking pissed. It is about to be December, which means there's gonna be fucking snow. And with snow, it makes your driving course even harder. Yeah. So yeah, apparently I got a bad attitude. So, yeah, definitely pisses me off because for sure, I definitely want to get my license. It's something I definitely want in life. It's something I'm working very hard for. But at the same time, I'm also not about to, you know, waste a whole bunch of money and do this insanely long driving course. So I want to do the cheapest possible thing. I just want to be able to drive. That's it. I don't want to have 1,000 certificates saying, oh yeah, he's so good at doing this, that, he's a safe driver, he's got a year's worth of driving experience. I ain't got a year's worth of time, dog. I'm an adult. It's time to wake up and, you know, wipe your face from all the shit the world piles on top of it. It's time to just get up and do shit. You know, it's time to get up and be a man. And so, yeah, what I did today was pretty fucking stupid. I'm not gonna lie. It's fucking retarded. It pisses me off because, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know. I haven't been on the road for a very long time. So for me, a complete stop, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if it changes from state to state, but when you put the brakes on your car comes, like, it stops moving. And I believe it's the 3-second rule. Maybe that's for something else. Can't remember. But fucking, yeah, fucking, car comes to a complete stop. You have enough time to look both ways once. Now, I should have looked twice. In fact, I should have, like I said, just waited it out. I should have just waited it out. But apart from that, I passed everything else, including my maneuverability. So, with that one minor failure, that's going to be the one thing I'm going to improve upon between now and then. And then I have to take a stupid class. And by the way, I'm going to try to get another 50 hours worth of road time. And so I can claim that I have 100 hours worth of road time. So, you know. Come on, adjust to fire. Come on, adjust to fire. Can I hit him? Oh! And so, yeah, no, I'm pissed off. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, yeah, I could have handled it more politely, maybe a little bit less blunt and walking away. Because I got in and out of there. Like, it took me about 3.1 seconds. I grabbed my or it actually took me less than that. It took me 2.1 seconds. I grabbed my shit, opened the door, walked behind a group of people, slipped out, and walked away. Like, I was just, it was like so fast too. It was just like in such speed that they just did not like it at all. I was just like, oh god. But yeah, no, they don't tell you these things. They don't tell you that if you're above 18, you have to do some bullshit if you fail. So I highly advise everybody, if you are 16, talk your parents into signing you up for some sort of small course, because at least then you can have a certificate saying you've done these things, and you can already get that test out of the way. Start as soon as you can. Start actually researching driving and asking about it. Start paying attention to your parents or whoever's driving. Just pay attention to some of the things that they do, you know, in certain little situations and stuff like that. Get as much knowledge as you can, because unlike me, I made the mistake of not really caring or paying attention. Now, I read that stupid booklet thing and I did the stupid test, and so, you know, I mean, there's a lot of knowledge when it comes to cars and stuff like that. There's a lot of knowledge when it comes to just driving in general. But one of the big things is you know, looking at adjusting your mirrors. That's one of the huge things. If you want to pass maneuverability, it's all about adjusting your mirrors and just consistency. I found it a lot easier at the BMV place to do the maneuverability test than the place that I was in the back of. So the place that I was in the back of, the maneuverability cones were thicker, the space was more narrow, so it was more difficult. Not all that much more narrow though, just a little bit more narrow. So yeah, it was a little bit trickier, but ultimately it made doing it at the actual place a lot easier, because the place where I was practicing was more narrow. And yeah, no, maneuverability makes sense, it's easy, but that coming to a complete stop thing, man, like that's, to me, if I had just waited for that light to turn green, then I would basically legally be able to drive. But now that costs me $60 something to take a stupid course, so I can go take that test again, hopefully with a different instructor. Because if I see that instructor lady again, I'm going to give her a mean look, pass my test, give her another mean look, and then she's going to have to hold her breath and give me my fucking thing. Oh, that shit pisses me off so much. The A10, what? Oh, the A1H. Okay, I'm about to say. I thought that H was a 0. Oh, God. It pissed off my mom. But then again, she had the idea that, or she was under the impression that if I failed the test, then they would just have to reschedule the test. But nah, man, if you're over the age of 18, if you fail, you can't like immediately reschedule it, which fucking sucks. And they didn't even tell us. They should honestly inform you, especially if you're over the age of 18 getting your license. And yeah, no, they didn't tell. They just thought we knew. No, the fuck we didn't. It doesn't say it at all in the book. It just says what laws are about driving. It doesn't tell you what happens if you fail. Which, at least it didn't say it in the book that they gave me, which is the same book they give everybody else in my state. So, I don't know. I think it's kind of dumb. I think that they should honestly keep you fully informed of what happens when you fail. Because chances are, if you're like me and have like less than 70, 80 hours worth of road time, you might have a higher likelihood of failing. You just now getting your driver's license? Yeah. Yeah, so what happened was so we went down there, we scheduled a day. Okay, for one, this is bullshit, because they should have scheduled me the next day, but they didn't. They scheduled me the next month. So it was back in October. No, it was a little bit before that. It was in late like September going into October. Then we scheduled to go in, and they're like, all right, come back November 19th. Come November 19th, I go in there, I pass the maneuverability, I pass 90% of the stuff we're supposed to do, except for this. There's this little red light and they expect you to turn right. Well, there's no sign saying you can't turn on right. So I took my vehicle to a complete stop. I stopped the vehicle. It was, it was not moving at all. My foot was still on the brake. I looked left. I looked right. I looked left. Yeah, I almost looked left again, but then I quickly looked to the right. I saw that open space. I'm like, fuck it. And so they're like, oh, nope, that's an instant failure. Because it was about like 3.5, maybe 4. It was probably like 4 seconds. I don't see why that's I should have. That's what I'm just saying. Like, I should have just waited for the light just to turn green. And I did look both ways once. But I could have sworn that like there was like nobody there. Like, it was just so desolate. It's like, it's not like anything happened or anything, so I don't know. It was an instant failure, and so because of that, and it's not the whole instant failure part. The kicker is that if you fail regardless, if you're over the age of 18, you actually have to do this online course, And so it's like, so I have to arrange this. And so it pisses me off because, well, I really just wanted to get my driver's license and go driving around, and because I have a nice car. I have a BMW 328i. And, yeah, I passed the speed. I was going the speed limit. I maintained my lane. I didn't go over any solid lines. I utilized every signal properly. Everything except for that one little thing. So like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and say this. If anyone's going to get their license, just be fully aware of that if you're over the age of 18. If you're not, I don't know, but still ask. I don't know. I can't speak for every state. Everyone lives in a different state or either a different country. So always ask. Because here's the thing, bro. I really didn't ask because my mom, she comes from another era. She comes from another time. It's a much simpler, much more more kind, more understanding, way more how would you say it? Not only more civilized, but more common sense oriented time. A time where when you go to sign up for one of these damn things, I live in the same state as you, I think. Yeah, I live in Ohio, dog. Oh, you. And I think it's bullshit, dude. Like, I mean, bro, look at this shit, bro. I'm about to expose this shit, bro. Look at this. So, if I go in here, state approved online course with our self-placed for students 18 and older. 4-hour course, bro. I get it, you know, when you're a teen, 32 hours, but that's like, you need that, but 4 hours I have to spend. I work 2 jobs. And I'm trying to work a 3rd job, but I want a car because it's getting cold. I can't walk everywhere. It's snowing. The wind blows at like 32 miles per hour and shit. Like, I can only walk to work and be happy so many days in the week. Like, I need a vehicle. I need to get going because my cousin works in an oil rig out of state, and I need a driver's license to drive to that job site. But I'll be making $4 grand a week. That'll pay off my BMW, and that'll get me a Mercedes-Benz. Well, actually, the next car I want to get, I don't know, the next car I want to get, I have a couple of choices. I have a neighbor selling his 1970 Oldsmobile Starfire, or I believe it was a 72 or a 73. And, or I could try to find an old Porsche. Because I like Porsche. I think they're cool cars. I want to get me one of them older Porsches. Like from the 90s. Or the early 2000s. You know, the ones with those ugly headlights. Yeah, those things value depreciated so fast. So they're the only Porsche I'd be able to afford. But it has a Porsche engine in it. So. But, oh, god damn it. You can't really fantasize about cars until you have a driver's license of your own. And, I mean, I can drive. Like, okay. Like, you know, I mean, I can drive pretty good. I'm a pretty good driver. It's just a minor mistake. And they're like, yeah, that was an instant failure. This shit's so dumb. So here, actually, let me grab this paper because they handed me the paper. I'll tell you guys what is an instant failure and what isn't. Let me go back to the... Okay, that's just the bullshit. I grabbed the wrong paper. Being involved in a traffic crash is an instant failure. I think that's pretty obvious. But dangerous action. List in remarks. Serious violation. Red light, stop sign, yield to traffic and others. Refusal to follow the instructor. Unable to follow instructions. Okay, well, so, it's somewhere in between dangerous action and red light stop. So, I don't fucking know, bro. Like like the sign didn't, like there was no sign saying you couldn't not do that. So, in all seriousness, in that situation, like I was able to successfully make the turn, still staying in my lane. I looked both ways. There was no oncoming traffic, but I didn't look both ways twice, which pretty much is the whole thing. It's just because if I had only waited a few seconds longer before doing it, or just wait for the fucker to turn green. Like, oh my god, I'm so fucking frustrated. My mom's just like waiting to see what happens. I come in there, I give her the death stare. She looks at me concerned. Then we go over there. They hand me my failure sheet. I, like I said, just take off and run. Like, it pisses me off because, like, they did not inform me that that would be the repercussions of that. But yeah, guys, I'm going to end this stream. I think I've ranted on for 25 minutes. Going on 26. Ah, god damn it. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and end this. And go ahead and make another stream.